Okay, so this is a continuation of our basic block design in SOLIDWORKS, introducing basic parts and our sketch and extrude tools. This one is the fourth in our series, and so this is going to be block G. We're going to walk through this one and get this one into a drawing eventually, but we're going to start off first by getting this first part taken care of in the isometric view in the corner. Okay, now on this one here, probably the best way to approach this in the least amount of steps, I'm going to start simply with a rectangle on the top plane. And I'll extrude that rectangle a total of 1.25 inches. Okay, then what I'm going to do is come back to the top surface and draw again. But I'll draw this little shape right here, this cutout that you see right here. And I'm going to cut that down 5/8 of an inch. So I'm going to introduce a new tool called Extruded Cut. So going into my SOLIDWORKS. Okay, so there's the previous part. I'm going to close that off. All right, so again, we're going to start a file new. In the past, we've been using Novice. We're no longer using Novice. We are going to start all of our part drawings now from the Advanced tab, and specifically under the SOLIDWORKS Templates tab. Now, again, this part is in inches, so I'm going to pick on this very first one in the corner called inches, left-click and highlight, and I'm going to say OK. Now, again, what I want to do is start on the top plane here with a new sketch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a corner rectangle that I'll attach to this center point right here and draw up and to my right and left-click a second time. I'm going to escape to turn the tool off, F key to center. Okay, now what I'm going to do is look and see how big this part is. So it looks like it's 4 inches long by 2.5 inches tall. Going back into SOLIDWORKS here, this is going to be 4 inches long by 2.5 inches tall. All right, now again, I'm looking for color, so I see that all my lines are black, which is a good thing. SOLIDWORKS is happy. I can tell by the word fully defined that everything is information-wise that SOLIDWORKS needs is there. So now what I'm going to do is go to my Features tab. I'm going to go up to the word Boss Extrude or Extrude Boss Base. SOLIDWORKS is going to orient this into an isometric view and add a 0.1 thickness to it. Okay, now we don't want to lock in at this 0.1 thickness. We want to change that from 0.1 to 1 1/4, 0.25. Hit Enter, and then hit your green check mark. Hit my F key to center that up. Now, what I want to do is I want to take a chunk of this piece of wood out of this. Okay, so if you look at the drawing again, I want to take a chunk out of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the top surface and create a new sketch that I will be able to cut down. So going back into my SOLIDWORKS here, I'm going to highlight the top face so it turns blue. And I'm going to turn on my sketch toolbar and hit the word sketch. Now to get it to orient flat to the screen, I'm going to do a space bar and a normal 2. Now from here, what I'm going to do is begin to create the shape that you see right here. So I'm going to start with a line, kind of come down, over, up, and then over and close. All right, so going back to SOLIDWORKS, I'm going to start with my line tool somewhere up along this edge, draw out to my right, draw down to the bottom here, over a little bit, go up, to my left, and close. Okay, so now I've got this closed figure. I have the right shape, but now what I need to do is get it to the right size. So now let's go take a peek at what numbers we're dealing with here. So it looks like this part of the cut is 1 inch. This will be 3/4 inches in, and this is 2.5 inches. Okay, so I'm going to go back to SOLIDWORKS and add those in. One inch. This will be 0.75, as this will also be 0.75, and this here will be 2.5. And just like that, SOLIDWORKS is happy with the color. It's black, that's what we want. It shows close, I see the blue figure on there, so now what I can do is start cutting the material away. To turn off my dimension tool, though, I'm going to hit Escape. Then I'm going to rotate my part by hitting the space bar and clicking on Isometric View. I'm going to go to my Features toolbar, since this is a three-dimensional cut, and now I'm going to go to Extruded Cut. And what I want to do is I want to change this from 1.25 to 5 divided by 8 and hit Enter. I hit my check mark, and there is the finished product. Okay. However, I got to check to see what is the material. In this case, we're going to make it out of oak. All right. So I go back to SOLIDWORKS here, where it says balsa or material not specified. You're going to right-click. You're going to go down to Edit Material, left-click, and then you're going to take your cursor and move it down to the bottom. Expand the Woods folder and pick the word oak. Apply, close. And there is your finished product. So what we're going to do now is do a file save as. Call this, or just block G. And hit save. Okay, now again, that should be saved in your folder on your H drive, so if you did not do that, please go back and make sure that's done. All right, at this point, this part is done. The next subsequent video that will go with this will show you how to take this part and then put it onto the drawing so that it will look like this when it's completed. So we'll complete that in the subsequent video. Otherwise, with that said, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Otherwise, good luck.